be creative and try to find themselves solutions. So I'm going to take advantage that we moved this role play in the schedule, so I will take 10 more minutes. Is that possible?
5 minutes.
5 minutes, because I would like to do an exercise with you.
Sharply 5 minutes.
It's another experiment. I hope you enjoy it. I will ask you to stand up. Every one of you, please. And take one of the objects in the back. Please relax and find a comfortable position for you. Maybe you can have a table. When you have a table behind, maybe you can.
Comfortable the way I was.
For standing, like for breathing, maybe you can breathe once. Then once again, please. And then once again. And what do you have in your hands? Balloons. Balloons.
What is it? No balloons. No, not yet.
Not yet.
I will ask you to blow up the balloons, so we transform them into a different object. Okay? It will become something different. Someone needs help.
It's been quite a long time without doing it. Ask your mom.
My balloon. One balloon. What should I do? I don't know.
If you can find that and someone
Just stretch it. Stretch it. Stretch it. You should do it.
Do you have it?
Enough, man.
Tight?
You will know it.
No.
Those ones like biggest one.
And the shape is unique.
Your size is not that important.
You're a balloon man. Yourself.
Yeah, I do this every time with my kids, so I have a lot of experience.
Okay.
Let me beat you. Not yet?
Not yet.
Hey. Okay, so you have an object in your hands. Please try to explore it. I mean,
Oh my God.
maybe you have already seen it once. I mean, something like this. But have you really explored how can you hear what the sound here is like? The object. Which color is it? Which shape? What about weight? How it tastes? Does it have a smell? Does the smell remind you to something?
Childhood.
Does it?
No.
Okay, now that you're closer to your object, I will ask you to close your eyes. Okay? And think that you have, please close your eyes.
Close your eyes.
Think you have in your hands a magic object that can be used for many, many purposes. One of those is that this object is a sort of gate to other places in the world and other moments in time. Maybe it's similar to what we could see in a crystal ball. Imagine that you look into the object and you can see yourself as a child, 8-year-old child. Imagine that you're walking in the street. It is summer. It is warm. You're happy. You're walking in the street. At the end of the street, there's a park. The park is quiet and peaceful. Now you hear some voices. You look around. Oh, your friends are there. Go and play with them.
Guys, close.
There is a sound far at the beginning, but it's coming closer. It is the sound of a siren, an alarm. You come out of the park to see what happened. You're not back to the street. Now you come back to this classroom and you are who you are today. And you have this magic object in your hands. Imagine you look again into the object. And what can you see now? What do you want to see? Imagine you can tell your own story. What you have experienced today. What would you say? Who would listen to you? Now please open your eyes and think that your magic object is actually technology that can be designed by someone. Maybe you find different ways of designing this or to use this. And this is just an exercise. And I think letting our minds flow and dream a little bit beyond the possibilities that of what we know how to use can help us. And thank you. This is thank you very much. Just to finish, so what we have had here, and both in the role play and both in this exercise, is a living experience. Is what I was talking before about meaningful learning, something like this, in this sense. And I want to base my well, the part of meaningful learning in theater pedagogy, and the basis for me is Paulo Freire's pedagogy of interest, and also Augusto Boal's theater of the oppressed. And well, just to remind one of the most famous statements of Freire, which is that no one knows everything. No one knows nothing. No one educates anyone. No one educates himself alone. People educate each other, educated by the world and the history. And I think here this also plays for the context that we've been talking about in this case. Thank you. If you have any questions.
I feel like I smoked some marijuana.
I have a comment. Maybe I should say it later, but I was afraid that I wouldn't have time because of the questions that you get. But it was about the IT guy and the first interaction that out of it. The people that needed IT support, which is this notorious reputation of IT professionals who are supposed to provide support, but they don't provide anything but frustration. And how, if we take that and compare it, for example, where I come from Syria and Aleppo, there is and I think it also kind of generalizes to many places in the world, where you have an informal, kind of very organic IP structure market that gets self-organized, and then you have people selling all kinds of pieces of computers and mobile devices and stuff, what basically people want to buy and need. And when you want to repair something, or you want want any kind of assistant technology, you won't call the professionals. Even if you are an organization with a full network installed, you would go to the market and see over there who is one of the merchants or people who are selling the devices would help you, because these people have the motivation, they care about making you happy because you're going to pay them. As opposed to having an IT professional installed in the organization that doesn't necessarily have the incentive or the setting that would enable him or her to come to you and help you. I don't know if merchants would really be an answer, because they would care about making the customer happy, although the problem sometimes is not really solved, but the customer is happy, he perceives that the problem is solved. But I was just interested into making this kind of comparison. Something would come out of it.
I would say, yeah, I'm not, it's another option. It would mean externalize the IT support to the manufacturers or something like that. Sorry, do you want to?
Yeah, no, interesting that you mentioned I did some work in user support. And one of the things that a lot of successful organizations did was, you have these people who work, and then you have that IT person, that's a help desk, but they had what we call super users. You go to any department, and you say, sometimes they'll say, go and ask Paul or go ask somebody. There is someone who is really not an IT person, but they don't quite it. So what they did was they appoint these people at the first line of help. So instead of calling the IT desk, they call them, it's one of their colleagues, and they're paid and so on and so forth. Now, one of the problems that I found is that when they call and then the IT people will ask questions like that, MAC address and so on and so on, because that's how they think of it. Users don't. Users, a lot of times they'll call something like, I can't print, or this particular whatever statement's coming out wrong. You talk in terms of applications that they use. The users know the application. So this is how that will actually work. And this thing about, you said about being happy and not happy, one of the quotations that we got was, when you ask who's a good support person? And they will say, it's somebody who shows that the thing. I said, so this is a direct quote. He said, I don't care if he doesn't know, as long as I know he cares.
Yeah.
It actually helps a lot in building this rapport. Having this, and which actually comes back to one other question about my role playing in that. People mentioned that this trainer was thinking about the need. Not really. I was more or less trying to motivate. You see, this is something that is useful rather than it would be. So motivation is a very important part of training. In fact, right now, I've done some work in that area. So the knowledge about any system includes this motivation level. What can it do for me? Unless you have that kind of thing, that nobody's going to pay any attention to training. People come for training for getting away, for lunch, for whatever. But unless they know that this is something that they can use and apply immediately, they're not going to use it at all. So our training program is built based on motivating them.
I think all these issues depend on the culture. For example, I told you I was originally working in Macedonia, and I was also there a professor with a PhD. But since I was the only one, I was at the Faculty of Pedagogy, training teachers, future teachers in ICT. And since nobody knew at that time what is internet and out of my colleagues, and nobody knew that training or even technical support is needed. And I was so much fascinated by the technology. I did all the technical work. I installed thousands of computers and do cables, everything. And I was young at that age. That's the setting that you came in. Maybe like he said, in Syria, the attitude is different. In Sweden, for example, it cannot happen that IT support says, I'm overloaded. Then they will employ another person. He's not doing his job. That's kind of a corruption, not coming to the user if he is supposed to come. So the culture is different. So I think all these settings will depend a lot on on the environment where they're placed, and this has to be taken in consideration always when something is done or arranged and everything.
Yeah, well, I think it's good to have like a map of stakeholders and things that can happen, and but particularly to show them in this kind of format, obviously it needs to be specific to the context. Otherwise, it doesn't help.
And I would like to comment. Oh, sorry. Do you have one question?
So,
well, it's just I clicked about. But no, go ahead.
Okay. No, I wanted to ask if I understood why you like want to use this methodology, some way, I mean, theater as a methodology, and I would like to ask how you think you can use it, and with what, and with isotopes or practitioners, or what is your idea?
Yeah, I would like to explore two things. I think there are two main things for me that are important. Is for users to understand how technology works, more than how to use the particular applications, but a little bit more of understanding how the machine and the application works, so they don't get frustrated when they are not able to follow the list of items, of steps that they learned in the training or that they just discover themselves, so they don't get stuck. And that's also a matter of building self-confidence. And the second thing is to reflect. I think this kind of formats can help reflect and getting consciousness on what to use the technology for. When should we use it and when not? When it is better to, maybe to field form, it is better to use technology, but maybe to communicate with the rest of the office, it's better to have a meeting. And so we can choose. And being able to choose, I think, frees people and makes it more reasonable as an application.
I would like, to show you a little clip that is to honor our host, because it's the Norwegian TV producing this clip, maybe you know already, about the medieval help desk when the book was introduced. And then it's really summarized everything we said.
I'm finished.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you.
No, just because, okay, I thought it was included in this.
Okay.
Well, anyway.
This is very funny.
No, just because it's, we discussed about this before. So, I go on and I have to, no, sorry, the volume is, no, because otherwise you don't see the subtitle.
Ansgar? Ja, det er jeg. Ja, ja, hei du. Ja, hva gjør dere? Ja, det er denne her. Ja, vil du sitte? Takk. Ja. Ja, så den, jeg har ikke gjort noen ting hele tiden. Ja. Nei, jeg beklager at jeg tar ikke noe, så vi holder på å legge opp til et helt nytt system, og da skal alle ha hjelp på en gang. Ja, så det kommer ikke inn litt med det. Nei, den ligger der. Kan du forsøke å åpne den? Åpne den, hvis det hadde vært så enkelt, så hadde jeg jo blitt innkalt helt. Det skal jeg vel. Nei. Du har liksom bare en hånd? Nei, det var ikke det. Ja, du bare gjør der. Sånn. Ja, da er vi i gang. Ja, så langt kom jeg altså. Ok, men så stoppet det opp, og så var jeg redd for at noe av teksten skulle forsvinne, så jeg turte å gå videre. Ja, men du skjønner, inni her, så ligger det kanskje flere 100 sider med lagret tekst. Så når du kommer videre, så tar du tak i et ark på den måten her, og så blar du over på neste side sånn, da fortsetter teksten her. Jeg blar altså. Du blar, ja. Men jeg skal tilbake da. Ja, da bare blar du tilbake. Ta tak der. Der, så tilbake til den teksten du hadde seg. Ok, så den slutter der, og så fortsetter den der, ja. Ok, men når jeg skal avslutte dagen, hva gjør jeg da? Da bare slår du sammen permene. Ja, på den måten der. Sånn. Da er lukket der, ligger alt lagret inni der. Altså, jeg risikerer ikke å miste noe av teksten her nå. Det ligger lagret inni her nå. Ja, men det virker å sette fyr på hele greia. Det er kanskje litt sannsynlig. Ja, ok. Nei, for det er noe med det, når du har holdt på med skriftruller, så tar det litt tid å få Så det er ikke likegyldig, det, altså. Åpne fra den siden der. Sånn. Der nå. Ja vel. Har du lest manualen, eller? Manualen, det skal følge med som manualen som brukerveiledning. Å ja, den ja. Ja, men ikke sant, det er jo samme problemet. Får det godt.
Very interesting. Very, very interesting.